welcome here to Sino. I just landed with a bunch of dangerous goods stuff. We're gonna be dropping off here, unloading it, putting it in a shed, and then heading over these mountains about 20 miles to another location. So let's get this unloaded. I still have about another 2.5 hours of flying yet to do today. So let's get going on getting this unloaded. Helping me carry more something to hop. We're invincible. Wow, it is hot out. All right, we are clear around the airplane. Let's go ahead and start. NG comes below 200, NG comes up, or ITT goes below 200, NG comes up. Oil pressure is coming in, fuel flow is going up. NG is coming to past 35, so I'm looking at ITT. There we go. Better drink some water before I have a heat stroke. We've got 890 pounds of fuel on board, and we're just jumping over the hill to Iteri. We're going up to 5,000 at most. We'll hit send on our iPad and rotate is at 54. I still do have, well, actually let's do our weight and balance real quick. We've got in our aft hat rack, I've got 91 kgs. And then I also have, you can see equipment plus 23. That's those fuel ramps and boards and such. Selectors are good. Our terrain awareness is off. Let me get my radar going on standby now. It takes a minute to do it. Switches and instruments up to 1,000. We're going to rotate at part tab at 55 knots. Flaps are set, indicated, and verified at 20. They're trim set up. We're going to be 40 knots by this bush that I'm looking at up there. You guys have no idea which one it is, but we're going to be 40 knots by that point. If we aren't, there's something wrong. We'll stop on the runway. After takeoff, we'll pitch for 85 knots, considering our EPL, considering feather. If we do have to shut down, it's cut off, pull off, and shut off. 85, 80 full flaps. Ignition inlet lights. All right, ignition condition, flaps 20. Fuel and harnesses. All stations, Sino 1267, November Tango Zulu, departing Sino for Iteri below 5,000. We're 36 degrees out, that's what it says. I don't think it's quite that hot, but because it said 47 a minute ago. We're going to go up 30 degrees, so we'll go, we're sea level, so we're going to go 1,500 for 1,540. Plate right there, we're coming from here, going down over the mountains. I think I have to get up to at least 4,000, I think, so. All right, I'm melting, so ignition condition, flaps 20, fuel and harnesses, and prop forward. Let's go. It's only about 10 minutes at most flying. 1,500. All right, ITT's right at 720, that's good. Runway is nice and clear. Airspeed's alive, just look at the nose wheel just above the grass. There's 40 continuing. There's our 55. Up above the ground, nose over, get our speeds up. Pull our ITT back on down. This airplane specifically always goes over into the yellow, even when you set it how the book says to set it. Very annoying. Looks like there's some sprinkles up in the mountains. Shouldn't affect us. It looks like we can see the ridge lines directly in front of us. So let's just zoom out here. Yeah, it's 14 miles from here, so not very far at all. Over 85, let's go 10 degrees of flaps. Moore's B8819er, November Tango, Zulu, departure.
November Tango Zulu, move again.
November Tango Zulu departed Sino at time 22, tracking 183 on climb below 5,000, estimating a Teddy at time 28. Alright, well, we'll begin once we get into the circuit of Teddy. It looks like I should just be able to just squeeze in between the cloud layer and the mountains. There's not a lot of room there, but I think there's enough for me. Worst case, I'm gonna have to go out that way and around all the mountains. If we put up on the big screen, you can see we've got a big, huge mountain there, and then it's lowering train getting back in. So we shouldn't have an issue getting in, I don't think. If I would have come out here this morning at like 6 in the morning when I did my other flight, then it was just clouds all over the ground. Alright, this actually looks like it's high enough to get over top of these. Let's go terrain. We've got yellow, so let's head over here. We've got red directly ahead of us. Even though I'm seeing some lower things, actually let's just go a little bit closer first and just see. And let's bring our fuel flow back to 320 for this little section right here, just so we're burning what we've actually planned for. Yeah, now you can see there's a couple little tiny yellow streaks through there. We're just going to go through one of those. Before we get into the mountains, bring up our strip chart for Teddy. Runway 30, so OBS 300, there we go. Oh yeah, it's looking like it's really nice and clear, so get through here. Touchdown elevation is 216 feet, so let's turn our altitude back down to 1200 for circuit altitude. Our selector's in good, our TAWS is turned off, our VREF landing performance is 64 knots at the slowest. There we go. Okay, eyes and up and out where they need to be right now, so I don't run into a mountain. We've got 6 miles to go, so I'm thinking it is just on the other side of this mountain here. I don't think it's on the next one. Believe it or not, there's actually a road out here now. It came through here, I don't know, maybe a year ago or so for logging and such, and then also probably people use it for like mining, for gold mining and such. Pretty insane that there's a road all the way out here now though. Probably has completely changed the lives of the people out here. Okay, well it looks like it's just over top of this ridge line here, down in there, so we need to start heading down to 1200 feet. I'm gonna bring open this little map right here. You guys can see it's just, yeah, a very, very short flight. Prop forward. Bypass landing light. If we have to go around, it's power up. Let's actually take a look at it together. We power up 20 degrees, pitch for 12 degrees on the attitude indicator, straight ahead and then off to the right, and then back around. All stations, Teddy 1267, November Tango Zulu joining
500.
Moore's B8819er, November Tango Zulu in the circuit Teddy, cancel SAR.
November Tango Zulu, Teddy, 78.
November Tango Zulu. Okay, like I was saying, I haven't been out here for probably a year and a half or so at least. And there's a school, I think I came out here maybe one time since I've been back. I've been back in New Guinea for a year and a half now. And now there's a school out here. They were going to build it on the other side of the river, but they built it right at the end of the airstrip. That's exciting to see that there's schools being put up, new ones at least, all around here in the sea peak. 10 degrees of flaps. Ooh, that little river right there sure does look inviting. We are beam. The windsock's hanging limp right there. I've got 4 knots of what potentially might be tailwind for landing. That's okay because it's like 700 meters long. It's super long. There's our pattern altitude at 1200 feet. Shallow my descent out a little bit. but start slowing my speeds down a little bit as well. We're gonna go out 1.6 nautical miles up here indicated before we turn our base.
500.
Our base is pretty short right here, so it's gonna be a pretty quick base. We want to be turning final at 700 feet. I tend to get low here, so I'm gonna try my best not to get low. There's 1.5, I'm actually gonna turn now. 20 degrees of flaps, start my turn, descending down to 700. Can't quite see, okay, now I see the end of the runway. Let's go full flaps. Running final. 860, so a little high, but I actually look pretty good, so maybe 700 isn't the right altitude to turn at. Let's see what we are on the ground, because this looks actually really good. 800 feet turning final.
500.
And pull my power out to slow on down to 64 knots. Right about where that grass changes color is where I am kind of shooting to touchdown, maybe a little, actually a little bit further than that, because that's pretty close to the end of the runway. 550 on the descent. Now we're up to 650 on the descent, but this still looks really good though. A lot better than I normally do. Okay, we're coming up to committed. A tree on the right side that looks bigger than I remember. 600 on the descent, still looks really good. Okay, we're committed. Runway's clear. Full power. Ooh, that's a little slippery. Out of any place. This place right here is the only place I've almost slid off the runway, off to the side, because there's actually a crown on it, and it was very scary. So, but I learned a good lesson. When you're in reverse, the plane wants to more pull off to the left, so if you're starting to slide and starting to go off, immediately come out of reverse as fast as you can, add a little bit of power that'll straighten you back up, and that's why you see me sometimes just like keep going on. It's kind of like on when you're on ice, driving a car and you kind of pump the brakes, it's a little bit like that. I can start not having a forward motion and stuff, and then I can get on my brakes. Not really going into reverse when I'm doing it, I'm just going into beta, so. Well, lots of kids out here today. I don't see any dogs for my turnaround. Hope you guys enjoyed this short little hop over here. I enjoy bringing you guys along my flights. It's like you're right here with me, getting to experience Papua New Guinea for yourself. And if you guys would like to experience some P&G coffee, check out my website, because I've got some if you guys want to help support the channel. I've also got this book here showcasing 40 different locations that I fly to that I think you guys are going to enjoy as well. So check that out on my website. It talks about culture, a little bit about the airstrips, things like that. And I'll see you guys next time.